Good morning. It is Sunday, December 16th, I think, almost Christmas. Before I start my YouTube thing for the day, I got busted wrapping presents. And they didn't see what they were, but they said, "I thought Santa brought presents, Mom." So I told them that Santa gets overwhelmed and that all the elves in the North Pole have strep throat. And so it's slow moving up there, so he's having some of the parents wrap some of his gifts. So they totally took it. I've been sick this week. A really bad sinus thing all in my eyes, and I felt bad because I was like stressed out. I'm trying to go to college and all this stuff, and I like flipped out at the college because I was sick and emotional, and it was hilarious. Anyway, me and my ex-husband this morning had to talk about child discipline. And here's the problem. We're not allowed to anymore. You're not allowed to discipline your children. Whether, you know, it's spanking or putting them in a room with the door shut, you know, everything's illegal now. And it's causing problems. Kids are turning into little a-holes. And I hate to say that way, but it's true. They're turning into jerks because we're not allowed to discipline them anymore. And Aurora, my oldest, is going to be 13 in March. And I know her boyfriend watches my YouTube channel. I see you. And she's got an attitude problem. And he will probably agree with this. She's got a major attitude problem. It's the rolling the eyes, crossing the arms, yelling, "You're ruining my life," you know, basic drama teenage stuff. And you know, she's got a pretty smart mouth for somebody that refuses to do chores. I fold her clothes and hand them to her, and she goes and throws them on the floor. She'll throw her socks across the room and then complain she has no socks and then steal my socks. And that's the biggest problem. You know, so we can't discipline them like we were disciplined. If I did something bad enough, my mom would spank my butt. I mean, I got spanked, not very often. I really had to mess up to get spanked by my mom. You know, and I'm not really for spanking my kids. I've seen a lot of parents where their kid will hit their sibling and the parent will hit the kid and say, "Don't hit." I kind of find that not helpful at all whatsoever. That's not teaching them anything. But anyway, I want to hear from other moms how you discipline your kids. What are your techniques? Because I'm kind of at a loss. A few months ago, I asked Justice to pick my 6-year-old. I asked her to pick up her toys in the living room. Blow that window up. And she started throwing them at me, throwing a fit. She didn't want to do the chore. So I said, "Okay, you're going to go to your room by yourself with the door shut until you can calm yourself down." And she screamed at me and said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're not my boss." That's her favorite. "You're not my boss." So I said, "Okay." So I picked her up. Physically picked her up, took her into the bedroom, put her on her bed, on the bottom bunk in their bedroom, and I said, "You're gonna sit here until you calm yourself down." She starts screaming at the top of her lungs, child abuse. For somebody that's already been through the system, you know, it's very scary having your child yell out the words child abuse, you know. So of course I'm just like, "Are you kidding me?" So I just left her in there screaming child abuse and shut the door, and it threw me for a loop because, you know, then I think if I don't give her the toy she wants to take to school, is she gonna go to school and tell her that she's being abused at home over a toy, you know? And they have these therapies now called PCIT, where they put a bug in your ear and they tell you how to interact with your child as far as discipline goes. But, you know, it's all about talking to them like they're fragile, you know, which kids are fragile, but I think it's overdoing it. And they'll be like, "Just tell them I asked you to please put the Play-Doh down." You know, kids are little jerks, okay? They're jerks, little kids, and older ones. They're all jerks. And they push your buttons. Sorry. And they test you, and then they act like you're ruining their life when they're told no, or you take something away from them. So nobody knows what to do anymore. Nobody knows what to do where they're not going to be attacked by Child Protective Services, you know, or the schools who say, well, you know, she said that you raised your voice, and so we're going to have to take this to court. Why? You know, like everybody's trying to figure out how to party. Can you please go to 101 in Madison? It's Ryan.
I'm driving.
He's driving. All our kids, we had no kids last night. All our kids spent the night at my friend's house. And so we're bringing breakfast this morning. It was very quiet this morning when we woke up. Anyway, sorry, I get distracted. But, you know, I really, really want to know how other moms are disciplining their children these days. Because maybe I just need tips, you know, on what to do. Because I'm scared to do anything. I'm scared to make them go to their room. I'm scared to make them stand in the corner. Because society now is, and that's why we have so many, oh my God, the kids these days. You know, little girls are walking around in shorts showing half their ass. You know why? Because there's no discipline. Everybody's scared to discipline their kids. Everybody wants to tiptoe around their kids, walk on eggshells. You know, and I looked my kids point blank in the face the other day and I said, you know what? You guys treat me like crap. You don't treat me like your mom. You treat me like your house slave. I'm a living maid for you guys, you know? You don't do your chores. You don't put away your laundry. You guys, nobody helps with the dishes. Nobody helps sweep and mop or vacuum or wipe down tables. Nothing. You know, so I'm doing everything by myself, and then they have the nerve to continue to treat me that way. And that's the problem. You know, because what can I do? You know, I can't do anything as far as discipline goes these days. So what do you do? What do you do to make sure that your kids aren't growing up to be little jerks? There are people, I live in Ukiah. Population, what? 3,000 something. It's not very big. It's not tiny, but it's not very, very big at all. And there are people driving by houses at 7 o'clock in the morning, just shooting them up. Bullets going through windows, going through walls. Luckily, nobody was killed. You know, there was another kid, and he was trying to rob Subway, and a customer was in there. His wife was in labor at the hospital down the street, and he just wanted a freaking sandwich. Okay, so he walks in to get a sandwich, and there's a guy in there with a BB gun that looks like a real gun trying to rob Subway. Gets out with $200. The customer is a concealed weapons carry. Pulled out his gun, shot him 3 times in his ass. The guy collapsed by Ross. He's alive. He's in critical condition in the hospital, and he's alive. But apparently this kid had had a long history of being a jerk. You know, where are his parents? Was there any discipline to this kid at all? You know, to teach him, you can't just walk into a store and say, I want this, give it to me. No, you go get a job. And then you walk in there with $10 and say, I'd like a Subway meal. It's simple. I don't want my kids to be like that. I want my kids to grow up and graduate high school with good grades and go to college and get a career and be able to walk into a bank and pull their own money out instead of holding up a gun and taking other people's money. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I want. I want to discipline my children to the extent that they will take care of themselves. I want them to be good people, because I was disciplined as a child. I was put on timeout. I had things taken away. I was grounded. I was spanked when I needed to be. You know, and I'm not a mean person. I'm a very nice person. I'm not a violent person. You know, I have my moments where I'm not perfect, you know, especially when it comes to parenting, but damn, you know, I turned out to be just fine. You know, I'm compassionate and I care about people, and I want my kids to be the same way. I don't want my kids growing up and cheating on tests and lying and beating people up and being in and out of jail and on drugs. I don't want that for them. You know, so what can I do now as a mom to ensure that my kids are going to grow up to be happy, healthy members of society? Legitimate members of society. What can I do as a mom? So drop your comments. Let me know, especially the moms. I know that there's a lot of dads out there too that take the disciplinary role, so I want to know what you think too. And Ryan, you know, on discipline, we're not going to ask him what his take on discipline.
Beat the kids. Just beat them.
You know, but he doesn't hit my kids either, just so everybody knows. My kids do not get disciplined, and that's becoming a problem. It's becoming a serious problem with their attitudes and the way that they do their chores.
Have my mom beat the kids.
So, anyway, let me know. And I'm going to go enjoy breakfast at my friend's house because I kind of owe her my life. I woke up in the quiet this morning for the first time in a long time. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your sunny, because we're rainy here, your sunny Sunday. And I will chat with you all later in the week. Okay, bye.